what's up there, YouTube? It's Down South Reefer with a tank update after a year and 3/4, nearly 2 years since I did a tank update. I do apologize. Y'all need to smack me across the face next time you see me. If you ever see me, it's my bad. I already gave you guys a video on kind of explanation of what went on, but let's go ahead and do a tank update. So here we go. Let's go ahead and get you guys some light here. Should have done that beforehand. That one's not too bad. Alright, so you can tell by the last video, the rockscape has obviously changed, and the reason for that is because I had to do a couple teardowns in the year and a half that I've had this since I videoed last, I guess I should say. So let's just say since my last video, I've had about 2 teardowns that I did some algae scrubbing and algae maintenance on. I really like this last aquascape. It's the one that I've kept for the longest. So about the tank, obviously it's quite ugly, and as I said in my last video, or in my earlier updated video that I just did, that I kind of let this tank go for a long time. I had other things in my life that I was dealing with, or not necessarily dealing with, just enjoying. Let's put it that way, and just kind of it took a back seat. So I didn't, let my cleanup crew die, and I never added any more. And so the next thing you know, my purple rock ended up becoming this brown, greenish looking stuff, and I never really paid much attention to it. I just kept doing my weekly water changes, and the coral were never happy. The euphyllias always did pretty good. You can see the euphyllias there. They're a little closed up today. I didn't do a water change on Sunday. I'm trying to fight this last bit of algae in here, but could be why they're not as opened up as much. But they've been doing really good, and the acan's been doing really good. They've grown incredibly in this tank, and the flavia down there. But the beautiful torch that I had is down to barely one head. The algae's kind of taking it over. So I'm unfortunate of losing that one. That's on me. New one that you guys never saw was the Duncan. He never was really good off. I bought him from Petco, which was probably a mistake from the get-go, but he's never really opened up fully in his tank. So again, that's on me. Moonstone, that was on my video. It's a lie, but he's not too happy. He just kind of sits there. But I got some zoas that don't really do much except for sit there. They don't grow a whole lot on and off. But again, my water's probably way off from where it needs to be, and again, it's my fault. I didn't take care of this tank, and my number one problem was I never bought a skimmer for it, which I should have did that from the get-go, and might have a little more success with this tank. But I did stay up with my water changes, and I did take care of it. I managed to make it 2 years with this tank, 2.25 years, I guess. And never had any major failures, knock on wood. I lost a few coral here and there, but nothing crazy. I did lose my yellow tang, but it wasn't due to human error. It was due to cat error. So I picked up a couple kittens back in June, and they were just little bitty girls. And probably was, I gotta stop saying, I think everybody does that. It's like, oh this, oh that, my bad. I'll try. So I came out of the bedroom one day and looked down and saw Spice, one of my cats, soaking wet, totally drenched, sitting on the couch. I'm like, what in the world? How in the world did you get so wet? So my light bulb ticked off on my top of my head, and I immediately looked right up at the tank, and the lid had actually was sitting like this, and it was going into the tank about here. And then behind it in the cave was my yellow tang being eaten by my Nacerius snails. All the other fish was okay. So basically what had happened is she hopped up on here, and this was prior to me moving them where they are now, but these were more inward. So when she hopped up on it, she pressed here and it flipped it, and she went in. And I don't know, during the time that she was in there flipping out to get out, that she might have clawed the yellow tang, or the yellow tang, got up, was bothered by the whole situation, got scared, and it stressed it out and it killed it that way. But I think she probably clawed it or something like that. But it was definitely dead. And Spice, speaking of her, she just cannot leave this thing alone. That is her right there. She is one nosy kitty, and she hops up on this tank every night. But I have relocated these brackets so she doesn't go into the water no more. And I put a board on the back of that. I'll go over that on my next video. I'm going to do an equipment video, an overrun of this video, what I used on it for the last a little over 2 years, and just an overrun of just everything, because the last video I didn't have everything on here, and I didn't let everybody know about it. But back to the condition of the tank. You can see the algae in there. I did go buy a cleanup crew. I got some nice turbo snails, some margarita snails like that. I never realized how bad my algae was until a couple weeks ago when I put these snails in here, and I woke up the next day and I noticed that rock was like that, and it's like, wow, I didn't realize that they were that covered. So guys, if you didn't think a cleanup crew does anything in your tank, this is 100% evidence that they do. You got to have some snails. So I really don't want to make this video real long, so I'm just going to go over to livestock real quick. That is Cliff. He has been in there the whole time. Whatever it is. She's from day one. She's probably the oldest. It's probably the oldest in the tank now, since the tank died, and it was the oldest. There's the 6-line wrasse, which would have been the third to last edition. You got the clowns over here hiding from the camera in their corner. These are the Da Vinci clowns that I got. They are doing outstanding. Obviously have grown. They love the tank. They love freaking biting my fingers when I go down and do water changes and have to do stuff in the tank. So that big one, he's a bastard. She's a bastard, whatever. There's my beautiful coral angel, coral beauty angel. She's new to the tank since my last video. It's been a great fish. She does her work. It does its work. Where did it go? And then there's the newest edition, which I just put in because I was missing my yellow tang. I put in this sail fin tang. He's still getting a little used to the tank, but he's swimming around a little bit better now. I love when he opens up his fins. Let's see if I can get him to open them up. There he goes. There's my coral beauty. See if I can get that. Yeah, he's a beautiful fish. And when I purchased him, when I went and got my snails, I was thinking of what my purchase was going to be, and I was purchasing more for my next tank than I was for this one. So this one is, I'm not sure what I'm going to do with it once my next tank is up and ready to go. But so we got the Favias, the Philias, which aren't really opened up that great right now, but you can see all the huge heads. That guy was one head, bought him a long time ago. He's from beginning of my tank. I don't even know how many heads it's got now. Both that and the hammer down there have tons of heads. Got another frog spawn and another hammer. That one had a very big bottom when I bought it, and it still is, and it's just now starting to break out another head. And the Favia, which has grown massively since I originally got it. And then the Acan, which also has been doing awesome. So that's really about it. I mean, there's the Moonstone, but again, it's not doing all that great. And the Duncan's not doing all that great, and the others aren't doing all that great. And I'm going to lose my torch, which sucks. But I'm going to do better in this next tank. I learned a lot on this one, and I'm not going to make the same mistakes that I did. So, not that I've done anything drastically crazy in this. It's still a beautiful tank, and everybody's happy in it. The coral is my biggest upset that I failed on, but the fish are doing well. So, didn't lose any fish except for feline problem not eating, but just nosiness. That's her. That's Spice. So, alright guys, that's about it. I didn't want to make this real long, and I ended up making it long anyway. So, I'm going to do another video on equipment update, and then stay tuned because my new build will start shortly with episode number 1. The tank was delivered today, so that will be coming soon. So, alright man, DSR's out. Later.